Hey y'all, it's Dr. Allison. Super excited to be here today telling you my favorite mantra or piece of life advice. And it also is sort of in response to a reader question I got a while back about how do we do it all? So I'm going to tell you my favorite motto that I swear by and I use almost every day in my life, and that is this. What am I going to take a B in? Right? We cannot get an A in everything. We can't. I've tried it. It's not possible. Here's how this advice came about for me. At the last step of my internship, which is sort of like residency for psychologists, I sat down with one of my supervisors for my kind of end of the year feedback, and his feedback was basically the same feedback I've gotten since I was 16 and a hostess at a restaurant, which was, "You're doing a great job, Allison. Like, relax, chill out. You can't do it perfectly all the time." And my face to that feedback is usually this, right? Because for a long time I've thought, yes, I can. I can do it. I can get an A in everything. And y'all, is not possible. So the challenge is choosing what we're going to take a B in rather than getting an A in everything, because we can't. So my supervisor sort of challenged me, "Allison, you gotta learn to take a C." And I said, no, C's don't work. And so he said, "Fine, B's, go with B's." So I kind of took that message to heart and I thought about it. Because even if you think about, let's say a college student says, "I can get an A in everything," and they go through their years of college and they get a 4.0, straight A's. Yep, they did get all A's when it comes to grades. But what about their relationships, their social life, their physical health? What about their self-care? I guarantee you those weren't all A's, because that's impossible. If we don't choose what we're going to take a B in, our bodies and our brains will force us to take a D or an F, right? If we don't choose, if we're not intentional about what we're going to pull back on for that week or even for just a day, our bodies and our brains will give out and they will force us to take a lower grade, and it's not going to be a B. So whether you ask yourself this, maybe it's Monday morning and you've got 10 things you need to accomplish or trying to accomplish and you're trying to get them all done, all perfectly. I want you to stop and ask yourself, all right, this ain't going to happen in the next hour, right? What am I going to take a B in? Maybe you're going to take a B in packing your lunch and it's PB&J and the random apple that was at the bottom of the drawer. Fine, take a B in your lunch. Maybe you're saying, "I'm taking a B in my hair. Like, I want an A in my health or getting to work early so my hair's going in a ponytail." Or maybe it's, I'm going to take a B in getting to work early and having all this prep time. You know what? I prepped on Friday, like, I'm taking a B and getting there early. I'm strolling in right at 8 and it's going to have to be enough. We've got to choose what we're going to take a B in, or we drive ourselves crazy and end up feeling like we're failing at everything. So whether you're asking yourself this kind of on a larger scale, meaning for an entire week, or you're asking yourself this on a smaller scale, ask yourself, what am I going to take a B in? If it's a busy week for you and you've got a lot to manage, maybe you're going to say, "You know what, this week, my marriage is taking a B." Right? That doesn't mean you're giving up on your marriage, but maybe it's that you and your partner make an agreement that you're not going to sort of spend as much time together as you normally do because you really want to take an A in a project at work, or you're trying to practice mindfulness with your children and that's taking up more time, right? It doesn't mean you're taking a B forever as a partner, but it does mean that for that week or that day, you are going to choose to spend your resources somewhere else. So for all my overachievers and all my perfectionists and all the people who are trying to do it all and then feeling so overwhelmed by guilt when you can't do it all, this motto is for you. What are you going to take a B in? That's my challenge to you today, this week, this month. Choose what you're going to take a B in. It can change your life. All right, that's it for me today. Thank you so much for watching my videos, and hopefully you'll tune into the next one. Thanks. Bye. My assistant is